Red adjustment. And pass. Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry. I had to take a little break, refresh myself, digest what I had. Well, both food-wise and story-wise. So, yeah, I just went to retrieve my chocobo as well. Because I forgot about that. Set some things up as well while I was kind of away from streaming. Let's get back to it. I guess there's nothing for it, but just get back to it. Kind of left when they told me I probably need to take a rest, so I figured that's as good a time as any. Might try to do another 4 hours here, depending on how I feel. I'm kind of trying to get into a rhythm. I think what I want to try to do is maybe like do 4-hour chunks. Take a break after 2 hours, and then after 4 hours I'll eat or do something, just rest, relax, then come back, do another 4-hour chunk, and rinse and repeat, I guess. We'll see how that goes. For all I know, it could be a rough way to keep on doing it. Your efforts to gain Grahatia's attention go unnoticed. He appears to be lost in his reading. What? He doesn't have time for his champion? For his beacon of light? What has gotten into you, Graha? Okay, Alice, a seat at the last stand. Alice appears in desperate need of a study break. Ready for a tea break, please? No, I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor? Don't you? I know, right? Priorities. Come and meet me near the outside tables and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. Thank you, I say. Can't believe Graha would ignore me like that. The nerve. and see. Oh, that is so good. The cafe here is to die for, but one cannot look past their charming tea set. I recommend you order both, funds permitting. That name is not going to get abused whatsoever. Welcome to the last stand. As the final, and some say only bastion of fine dining in Charlian, we guarantee a quality culinary experience found nowhere else in the city. You must try this directly. It's amazing. It's best shared with a loved one. Yes, me. Pretend that you're trying not to be an unholy fusion of Meteor Survivor and Asahi. Ah, shit! As busy as ever, I see. How very Charlian that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the telephone. You might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Alice is now accompanying me. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You could leave Alice behind by entering a different area, putting too much distance between you, or by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Alice accompany you again, return and speak with her at the original location. Okay, is this where I can G-pose a little bit? This cumbers. Sorry, I'm sorry. We're gonna convert it. Again, priorities. You know? I think Alice is giving me the cold shoulder. What do you think? Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Oh, you just spoke with me a couple of minutes ago. Excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telephroy and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Mrs. W. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the forum and afford to reach after portion now that I was helping you. I see. Sorry to bother you. I see how this is gonna go. Wait, what? What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. Misunderstand, sir. We're simply wondering if you do the Telephoroid. The enemies of peace have promised an end to always hold dear and... Wait, you're the House of Ayako, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric wends. And here you are giving truth to the rumor. Uh-oh. I guess I'll see you when I get there. Oh, thank you for leaving me be. Not to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. It was foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Marine. Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mr. Salas I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickham, the owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the studium. Seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eosia, and then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything alright at home? Nope. It's complicated. And I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Devailleux. No matter how discreet Master Fortuno may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now at all times? I have questions, and only Charlene had some answers. Tell me, Mr. Dickens, have you heard anything about an apocalypse named the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. What's that you fear to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. I wish there was more I could do to help. Of course you can't. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Charlian, aren't you? Yes. And few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a surfer with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? So let's do it. Might as well. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet is for one of our regulars. It's a Highlander by the name of Gila. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them you should see a Metote gentleman, viewer of the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck. goes with the chatty. She said, lovely, thank you. It's a local who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them or their final days. Friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about the ritual arcade practices of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Gets the armor, right? That's above. I'm starving. Never known the service would be this slow. Game. No time to waste. What, the Telephoroy? Ah, yes, I remember seeing the name of the latest Gazette. That's some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Let's stay out of it, I say. Come on, we made the right choice and we fully support our decision for the main move. Sir, with the picture of a smile. I'm grateful, officer. At last, the oven baked officer is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. The final days? This is the first I've heard of it. Although, that would explain when the friends were nourished off its feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Charlemagne, priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. By all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and commanding profession. These Telephoroy make good on their audacious thrust, and many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Yeah, let's save, like, stuff in the face of the world. Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. I've never been this hectic before. Not like this. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Yeah, actually, a little bit. Interesting. You seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news such as breaking. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. As the forum does have secret knowledge, and they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing your part so well. Here, take up a coffee, I promise. Well, thank you, I'd say. enjoy our drink somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossip and the wagging tongues. Right. Empty benches right there, and we sit right on the edge. That's great. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length.
As if maybe a way to protect them, possibly. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but it remains to be seen.
Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
This must be the Gleaners.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Labyrinthos? Hilderane's like, what?
A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the Gleaners coming and going more than usual?
Yes.
Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And Gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophorol...
No, shit. I'll read it, Pat. If the appearance of the Telophoroi had prompted this sudden burst of activity, Labyrinthos may hold oblivious of what the Forum is planning. Let's stick our noses in where they're not supposed to be. Labyrinthine descent. Alistair is excited to share your revelations. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead head to the Numenon. And I'll join you in a moment. Master Tippin will want his cups back. But I want it. I want mine. I'm gonna go unlock the other Ethernet shards. Like a residential district here. Very pretty. So which one am I missing? The arrow still. Talk to strangers. So I'm ignoring you. See? This is me paying you no mind at all. My friends and I gather here from time to time to discuss what we've been reading recently. It's really helped us broaden our intellectual horizons. You have tuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards in Earth shards. Rahatia. Is that coffee I smell? Did I miss the tea break? Yes, you did. Where's Alice? I thought she was with you. Stola. My loyal assistant returns. There's a lexicon on the first floor that I need you to... Ah, you found something, haven't you? Welcome back, Lorene. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. Makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo, it certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Y'shtola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. coupled with what Lorene and Alice learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Charlenians know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. But my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telephoroi is only unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Cleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Cleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seemed obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves, and if we're lucky, the Cleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. Fine idea. Or what should we expect in there? Fine idea. I want to know more though. What should we expect in there? Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. Oh, of course. As for myself, there are a few more subjects that I should like to research. I might join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. Watch your step in Labyrinthos. It's rather more perilous than a simple storehouse, but that will likely make the experience all the more attractive to an adventurer like you. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Follow LSA and try not to follow behind. And off we go then. Pleasant here amongst the trees, that it is, but it really should move along. Now we run. Try to keep up. That's alright. Keep to the path, straight ahead. Cross this bridge. Think I can't keep up? Up here. That's fine now. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It would make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. How did the Forum learn of the final days, and exactly how much do they know? More to the point, what do they intend to do about it? Hopefully the answer to at least one of those questions lies below. Aether? I've been to Labyrinthos in the longest time. Even as a student, my visits were few and far between. I say, you didn't take a wrong turn into the roster there, did you? That the Forum would take kindly into you barging into a private lesson. Welcome to the Hall of Artifice. Should you be looking to descend to Labyrinthos, the lift here will take you there. Thank you. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone onto the lift and down we go.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Oh, it's just that place.
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
Aww,
knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Earth and empty, Labyrinthos.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma.
Oh, that's lovely.
It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Dang.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today.
Why?
It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we know to do.
Ugh.
Echo?
Did you call to me just now?
No, not me. That was somebody else. That was probably Hydwin.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Interesting. Holy shit. This little underground labyrinth has 3 thrice? Hey. Gather information in upper Cryptos. Aaronville. You here to help or give me some more headache? Give me more headaches. Because you don't have the look of a gleaner and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose. Your exchange with Aaronville has taught you about exhausted gleaners. Why are y'all so busy? No, no, Lacto. I just started as a gleaner, so I don't mind handling menial chores. Any experience is good experience, right? So I'll do whatever it takes, so that one day they'll trust me with those veteran requests that take you all over the world. Let me think. The race seeds should be item 1058, human seeds 1059, herbal berry 1060, or were they 1061? Ah, my head feels like it's stuffed with moko grass. Why, more of those to take out than carry in. Ooh. Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Kurthan carrots for the Garaban carrots? What then? Your exchange with Kiev has taught you about large shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthos. You guys see this is artificial night? Clouds. Ah, would have been nice if they had been like, oh, this is like fake. This is like fake night, or Kyle. Most of those gathered here appear to be gleaners. Why don't you wander around and try making small talk? You have to know what I'm doing. Hauling bugs. An ore. At fauna. If it needs hauling, I'll haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos, you know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion? Is that the fourth wall? It's break. You gotta love it when they break the fourth wall sometimes. Your exchange with Dobbin has taught you about taking stock in Labyrinthos. Swedenborg. Not looking forward to transporting all of this, but I am looking forward to a nice drink afterwards. Oh, fresh space. That's a rare sight. How might I help you, newcomer? What do you do here? Simply put, my job here is to record and classify the Gleaner's acquisitions, but the work's anything but simple. We collect all manner of items here in Labyrinthos, ancient scriptures, artifacts, rare specimens, you name it. Odds are we have it. And all of that needs to be inspected. What kind of place is this? This is Upper Labyrinthos. Labyrinthos' primary storage facility for materials delivered via the lift. Here we identify and sort said deliveries before they're sent on to the Archaon or other facility for safekeeping. You might say we're a service entrance for Labyrinthos. Well, that makes sense. Elfinu. Excuse me, are you a gleaner? If you don't mind, I have some questions to ask. Always so outgoing there. I don't know. Any luck, Lorraine? What tales did the Gleaners have to tell? So, this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Y'all, give me a couple of minutes, I'll be right back. Just going to take a quick break. Won't even go away. Just give me a couple minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I am back again. Okay. Glorified rat catcher. Kyle appears lost in thought. We would do well to learn more of what, specifically, the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, Lorraine, I have an idea. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting! You wish to help me find the marmots? I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. My name is Aaronville, friend, specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian... I forgot how to pronounce it. Marmots is a trial I have no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? You've not seen me scampering around here, so we'll need to run your search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot, or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. So this is a freaking underground forest. That's literally a troll. Quite seems surprisingly artificial here. Where did we go? Mornvale Forest. Interesting mouths. That sound effect sounds a lot more crisp. Is it just me, or did they tighten that up a little bit? Oh, come on. I keep forgetting my ether currents this time around. Where's this damn armor at? Oh, there it is. Corner now. We're prepared for its speed this time. You succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 accounted for. Ah, there's the odd moment out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in the holding cage. Oh, this is interesting. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who test you to capture them in the first place? Or what will we do with the marmots now? Maybe subtlety would help. As for the Forum to decide, they are the guiding authority behind Labyrinthos after all, and this job was but one small part of this great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed, those were the two conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. Survival. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, right? Is this the cleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kyle of the students of Valdesion. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions lately have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descension to Labyrinthos. We hope that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical, never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Did you learn anything new from your friend here? So, we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun. The Forum contacted the Gleaners Guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Tolafroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus, am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned for so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Tolafroi's declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaeon? From there, we can reach the lower. Oh. There's that sound. Cryo, what's wrong? fine. Truly, the sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache. That's all. Nothing that'll stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I'll remember the way to the Archaon. We follow the path east, through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse, or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Is that the sound that, like, what's the precursor to the final days of in Amarat? I'm guessing the simulated weather here mimics the weather outside? That music is so good though. It really is. Personally, I haven't listened to the battlefield music yet. Let's see what this sounds like. I like that. Well, don't worry about me. I'm hale and healthy. In fact, I'm beginning to suspect that. Nay, let's discuss this later. The investigation demands our undivided attention. Yeah, let's say. Were you cutting in mist on your way here? The sprayers keep the air humid so that the habitat feels as close as possible to a natural forest. Guess that makes sense. This... Aha! I like the old theme. For anti-tower theme, ain't it? A remix of it. This is the foremost material archive in Charlia. I should love to explore its treasures shelf by shelf, but I fear we have little time for such indulgences. Anything new? Behold the Archaeon. Illuminon services Charlie's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. The building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the site itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Charlian's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Deeper into the maze. Alphino is gazing into the Archaeon with an appraising look. Well, you won't learn anything without standing out here, so just proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Good night. Talk to you tomorrow. I'll see you then. Take care. Get some rest. Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archaeon's vaults. Peruse, you're clearly not cleaners then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Valdecian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Why is that? Not us then. I suppose we'd better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What? So this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time, it'll be too late, and we are so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for the moment, shall we? Yeah, let's just blurt that out right in front of them. Students at Valdecian. Yeah, I knew that. Getting turned away. No sense the forum must be wary of exposure indeed to so heavily restrict the use of public institutions. If they're going to close off facilities, then they ought to announce it. The students must be furious. Labyrinthos is constructed in the shape of a mortar. The upper layer is called the outer circuit, and the medial circuit lies one tier below us. Let me change the Aetherite before I forget. We are at an impasse. If you have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by how it felt. So we must seek another means to access the lower levels. It is likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong facts to lighten the load. Speak to people outside the Archaeon. Bone-weary worker. What's that? Take you down on the lift with me? It's alright, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. Did see a cleaner fellow heading out of the gate there, though. Shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. I like how this is like literally the theme of the Ancient Tower. New student. Not taking a lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archaeon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oh! Modest little squeal, don't you think? Yeah, anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archaeon is open again. Again. Alright, go for it either way. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another pass. Cloud Kitten I need to capture is close. Very close. Wish I'll leave this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, two hunters are generally better than one. Very much. So now here is common gathered spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is a hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with the sleeping dart. Oh, one of those. The effects are short-lived, so lie in wait down by the roof, babe. She played before. Be sure to hit the right one. Richard surrounds Rose with a hornbill, and then moves him Hornbill and use the blowgun. Let's get go. Oh, look, so I thought. Try to shoot this car. Wait, it's a... That's the one that's like... Let me see. Oh, green bird, okay. Dang, I'm a bad shot. Got it. Finally. Have enough ammo, you'll eventually get it. Congratulations, Lorene. You're slightly less horrible.
Fair shot.
Ooh. Only took
Nicely done.
20
Let me
tries.
truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
He does have a voice.
There you are. Any new revelations?
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
And they're all thinking.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth.
Well, so Area 51.
Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. Judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
Oh! So abandoning Charlian for Mericidia. Where the dragons are from.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
Interesting.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, that does plant a seed.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion, then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
There you go.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift.
Oh, darn.
I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
True.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Tell me more.
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you'd do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
We're the students of Valdecian.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
never would have noticed this cave on my own. Thank the scholar that Arendelle knew of it, and that you were there to persuade him to share. So I took a quick peek inside, but it's awfully dark in here. You're still, it says the medial circuit, which Arendelle mentioned, is the tier directly below us. Like the lowest level of Labyrinth, thus, with its rigid security, one can usually roam the middle layer quite freely. Let's see what we might find. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. Just strange, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we'll need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Man-made though it may be, the shaft was designed to resemble a natural cave system. Keep Arendelle's boring and do stuff carefully. Alistair seems eager to get underway. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We'll meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. Just seeing mushrooms. in here somewhere. Sure, how probably get a little bit closer to it. That mine shaft was infested with mithril caps. Some sort of research project, I wonder? I suppose they are a most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle about their narrow tunnels? I was being careful, I swear. The slope was steeper than I thought, and I lost my footing for a moment. That's all. I'm not injured, if you don't count my pride. Lorraine, did you know Carl almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. Yeah, something's going on with Cryo. That's pretty obvious. Not sure what. I think it's something having to do with the echo. Possibly Heideling's involvement. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. Farrenville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, and we should see the evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path of the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Oh, that's probably the one that's... Okay. That battle theme is really good. I really like it. I think I like it even more than the Shadowbringers one. Destination Eorzea. Yeah, there's the meme grapes that I've seen. Aha, I know where now I know where we are. This is Marial Agronomics. Labyrinthos is the host of a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Food so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed. Mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts. Are these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It's possible they know something of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See as you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful tips. The gores we go here are something of an agricultural wonder. We've crossbred varieties from all across the realm to create pumpkins that are sweet, sizable, and rich in nutrients. A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot on the vine. Not a single picker hard at work. Clearly procuring readily available fresh food is not the forum's priority. I'm told this cart holds a harvest meant for the larders here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, hello there. You weren't expecting visitors, not with use of lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? I have to say. Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I would reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the forum is fulfilling orderless a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new, and gave the orders for ridiculous quantities of disease we've already thoroughly researched. Because their reorganization, I think, is actually another term for preparation for the apocalypse. That seems strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation, and it was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Often you meet someone here who so obviously doesn't belong. Can I help you with something? Tell me about yourself. For now, at least, I am the second most important person in this facility. Now, you may think I am shirking my duties, but even at this very moment, I am envisioning how we can improve our methods. Using upon this watermill calms my heart and clears my mind of unnecessary thoughts, leaving room only for brilliant ideas. Even so, inspiration takes time. Today it seems to be slower in the coming than usual. What kind of place is this? Mario Agronomics is where the finest agricultural friends gather to research plant specimens from around the realm and the methods by which to cultivate them. The plants grown here are also used to feed the people working in that brings us. Straight from our fields to the tables, fresh as fresh can be. And so you spent years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques? Of course, the light of the artificial sun is not so brilliant as the real one. However, it allows us to grow crops without having to worry about inclement weather or changing seasons, making the results of experimentation much more consistent. Overwhelmed flavor. Do I have be taken down below, more than I can carry and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop that hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. For many years I have poured my energies into developing more plentiful crops. My life's goal is to produce a seed from which both a potato and tomato will grow. A mannequin dream. Dream on! Oh, Harry harvesting. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. We call it the mean variety. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which the Labyrinthos was modeled. A region in the south is the Bard. I'm probably butchering that, but or it could be Isla Bard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. It used to be called Corvos before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amanus. Girl Hatia was mentioning something about that. The forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Don't ask me why I did that. I just was. I do like this battle theme. This battle music here is pretty darn good. Drop down there, but I wind up killing myself. Stacked boxes. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. That looks like a lunar tear, in a way. Maybe not quite, but dang. It's radiant.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
All sound like Ardmore.
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
That's so Dempsey, isn't it?
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Well, thank you. And thank you for explaining the Heartbloom. Very interesting. What does it say when... Oh, this is playing for a reason. Customer Toya's theme.
Have you learned aught of interest?
Heartbloom?
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed.
Oh, you said it's going to be
While
easy.
there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
What's that?
Isn't that the entrance to the Arcane?
Arcane. Did I say it right? Earlier? Who knows?
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
Yep. That
A
is.
little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You would think at the very least.
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
There you go, Alphinaud. There you go.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Heart wounds.
Cryo?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
Do you even know what the plan is?
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
What do you mean, almost? I can almost reach you. Talk about Heidelin, aren't you? You talk about, trying to get Heidelin. Yeah. Feels wrong to spy on Erenville, helpful as he's been. What other choice do we have? I would say. Let's get after him already. We've waited too long as it is. Cryo? Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. Were we following Erenville? We were following Erenville, weren't we? Is Cryo still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. Full report, warts and all. Alice is not about to let Erenville out of her sight. Erenville was headed westwards along the path outside Archaean. Come, we can still catch him. I may just go ahead and get. I'm kind of starting to get tired. And Stola wishes to have a look at this. Say, I'm falling too far behind me. This game is my home. Still here. Heidelin's voice. Hold a moment. I have an idea. Memory serves that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient place. But even if we happen to find Aaronville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. Only Graha and his vanished spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Very nice. Y'shtola, you savage. That is genius. I'm accustomed to transfiguration. Worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Ironville. Should you feel the magic fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. What am I to do in the meantime? Talk to me. Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, he is likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of him. I mean, she's kinda right though. Which reminds me, where are the creatures? Here. In that form, you are essentially defenseless. Where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless. You have changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. You will return from your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak with Y'shtola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. Oh, interesting. Pivot? Huff it now. Pivot. Huff a toad and Ala toad. I'm not copying you. Wow. Wow. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with the quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area, putting too much distance between you, or by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have your companions join you again, return and speak with them at the original location. Alex. Wow. That made me smile. I don't know why. It just. It's kind of out there. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, that was such horrible timing. That was such horrible timing. Can we go a long way around? Are you sure, you savage you? Alpha Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but nevertheless understanding that he is telling you this is the right way. Aether turns to face him back. Now she is suggesting you flexible. This is so absurd, I love it.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty.
In an age long past.
And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge.
Ooh. So. In an age long past. Is that in Eorzean terms, or is that in, like, Amarachian terms? That's what I want to know.
I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
So...
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Fair enough. I like you. I like you, Aaronville. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention next time I see one. I suppose we should have known a cleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived, and he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this momentous duty the Foreign Agent mentioned. Momentous duty. Charlian is in thrall. Charlian has been called to action, and Telefoy's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, we deem it of sufficient importance to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention more Aeorze's requests for aid. If we happen to cross paths with Aaronville again, I should like to thank him properly. A guide of sorts. I would say, as staring off in the direction Aaronville departed, a thoughtful look on her face. But you could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources. Judging by what we just heard, none of the cleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing on further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Plow for the moment. See what they think of this. Yeah, let's do that. I think I got some hunting to do as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it with this quest. At least for Got that in under the wire. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end it here for tonight. I'm getting tired. I would say. It's funny how normal the forest seems now, as a toad. It was all so much more ominous and threatening. Yeah, being able to defend yourself can maybe help with that. Where's Kyle? Welcome back. I just found Arendelle again? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows what to do. This is true. This is Cryo, and discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she needs them longer. Oh, there's Cryo. What are you doing there?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Aww.
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Heidelin. Hello, Heidelin. As we share the echo.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
I knew it was only we could see her, but I mean, those with the echo could probably interact with her still.
It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest.
I guess that makes sense, considering proximity.
After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well.
Aww. Well, thank you, Heidelin.
her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
And another who may yet have a part to play. Who are you meaning? Another who may yet have a part to play. So that will depend on you. That's Minfilia. Is that somebody who's already passed on? Or is that somebody who has the echo? Or Cryle? Could it even be Fordola who has a false echo?
Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That blue will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free and bear the light for others to follow. You see that as if you know I'm about to go through some shit.
Together, raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away.
Yeah, I imagine that's tough having a god speak through you.
My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out.
Well, it makes sense. We're going underground, so we're kind of getting closer to her by proximity.
Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was.
By coming down here, going lower into the depths. That's why MSQ said to come look down into the depths to find your truth.
Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Well, understandable.
Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
The heart bloom. I want to call it a lunar tear.
Yes,
honestly.
we are definitely making progress.
Which would make it, which I find fitting, considering this is a lunar expansion.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Oh. Fortuno.
Master Fortuno? What business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Better be.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
We didn't even interfere. We're just trying to discover what the hell you're hiding. We weren't interfering in shit.
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
Afflicting the world?
Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Don't you dare speak.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
And she knows it. Damn right, she knows it.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
There's something more to that.
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own.
There's something more. I don't know what it
The
is.
reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
God, Tia, you magnificent cat boy, you.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
It's the Illuminati!
The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives.
You're running a racket.
Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
But cat got your tongue?
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle?
Our vital work.
We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
And what if they come for your head, personally? What the hell are you going to do about survival? It's going to...
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
There you go, Y'shtola. You tell them.
Such misguided zeal.
Well then tell us what it is that why we're so misguided.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, hmm? By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same.
Exactly.
Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences.
5148.
Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Stubby old bastards. That went a little bit longer than I thought it would. Thank the gods for Scholar. Come on. Come on, chain. I absolutely loathe arguing with circles. Father may be right. That I am still groping in the dark for answers. But I needed him to know that I would never stop searching. I wrote that much to involve in myself. I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I just read as I left the restricted section. I knocked over the security mammoth on my way out. I promise to be more vigilant next time. Ah, you clumsy old cat boy. You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whensoever the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of the science, and I know my grandfather would have as well. Amen, Kyle. Well, at least you've been allowed to remain in the city. Our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn a lot more of substance in Charlie. Yeah, I think it's time to move on. I tire of this charade. Okay, with that, I'm gonna end it here tonight. I'm gonna try to get up tomorrow, hopefully get in the early queue, and we'll do this some more. So, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next time. Tomorrow I aim to do just a little bit more.